Welcome to the Homeownership podcast presented by Momentum Realty, located in Hanover, Massachusetts. This series covers all things real estate and the best practices for buying, selling, and owning properties. Now here's your host, Sean Maloney.
Welcome to episode 183, Buying a Home with an Office in 2022. I'm your host, Sean Patrick Maloney. Thanks for joining me this week. This week, I want to talk to you about a subject that has become so important over the past few years. We've gone through a lot of change. Whether you like it or not, the world is different than it was just a few years ago. Working from home is here to stay, and working from home is the perfect thing to do when got right. But when gotten wrong, when you make the wrong decisions, it can be hell on earth. Let's be honest, folks. Work and home integrating into each other means that distaste that you had for work could possibly slide into that sacred place you call home. Today's episode's all about making sure to master the art of getting the right place, so that way there you're in the perfect place and you're having an enjoyable work from home experience. First off, when you're thinking about working from home, there's a lot of variables, right? It starts with household noise, ends all the way over to things like my cell phone work. So let's break a bunch of them down. First off, the environment. The environment is huge, right? We need to have the perfect work environment. So being ready to spend some money on proper equipment is something that you're going to need to do, whether it be the right desk, the right display monitors, but thinking about the layout and how will the space work. We really want to make sure that when we're working efficiently, that we're not getting up out of our chair and walking across a huge room to get to filing cabinets, that we're making decisions based on the idea that time is money and money is time. We can't be wasting either one of them. We need to be doing well. The other thing about environment is thinking about all the disruptions of a household. Is it a great idea to have your office be without a door in the front of the house, right next to the living room where the kids are going to be playing? Or is it okay to be next to the washer and dryer? Or are they going to be running all the time? We need to think of those real life events. Now, I understand everybody has a budget. Any office is better than no office. I completely get that. But when we're talking about work, to me, it becomes more of a priority to making sure I get this one right. Because ultimately speaking, if I'm in the middle of a Zoom meeting with some C-level people in another country and the kids run by in their diapers, that's not going to be too convenient. That's certainly not going to be conducive to work, and it may even eventually cost me my job or make me have to change things. Now, again, I know that not all life is optimal, but we have to be realists that setting ourselves up right, not setting ourselves underneath our teenage kids' room where we know that they're going to have their radio up. We want to think about all these different variables so that we make a great work environment. Because remember, as much as the wife or the husband or whoever else is at home with you loves to come in and ask you to do things like, can you just feed the baby or can you just do the laundry? They have to remember, right? I'm at work. So when you're at work and you're working from home, it's important to have that work-life separation of when the door is closed, I'm in the office. I'm not here. I'm here physically, but I'm there working-wise. So I can't be doing all that. Other things to think about is the cell phones, right? If your cell phone doesn't work, where's the Wi-Fi in the house? What room's going to have the strongest Wi-Fi? You might even want to have an electrician or a cable expert out to install some Ethernet cables directly to the wall where your computer is going to be located. The difference between Wi-Fi and having a system where you're plugging in is going to be a huge difference in your speed. If you're going to be streaming a lot of video and all that stuff, you may need to have that. Make sure that the space is set up for that, because if you have to think about downloading things and uploading things all day long and you're sitting waiting, again, we go back to that time is money thing where you're wasting more time waiting for inefficient solutions. Some other stuff to think about, lighting. Lighting is a huge one. If you don't have overhead lighting in the room, how are you going to get lighting? Usually when we're working, we're reading over paperwork and we're looking over numbers. It's very tough on the eyes to do it in the darkness, right? Getting the right office for that reason is going to be a big key. If you're planning on working with more than one person in an office, you really want to think about that as well. Are you able to deal with it? Are you able to do the call center thing? Can you put the headphones on, cover over your ears, and do noise canceling and talk to other people in the room? or would it be annoying? Now, it depends on your job, depends on your work, as far as what you actually do. Some stuff's confidential, even husbands and wives can't hear about it. Then it's impossible to work in the same place. Sometimes you just need to think about that and realize that maybe the perfect option for you isn't a whole bunch of Zoom rooms, and it's that the bedroom's going to be one person's office in the corner and the dining room's going to be someone else's office. But laying the groundwork to understanding how that home office is going to play a role in your household is huge. Because let's remember too, we have children now that are going to school from home. And to be honest with you, I think in the revolutions that are coming and all the things that are changing, online college is pretty much going to become a realistic thing. I don't think that there's need anymore to spend $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 to go to college and endlessly make yourself bankrupt in payments for college, whereas now you can take online courses for very, very reasonable prices and learn from the best at anything in the world, not just locally, not just the teacher you got, but literally the most expert in the world. And I think that this education thing is becoming popular. So understanding what the kids' needs are going to be, understanding that mom, dad, the kids, everyone can't slam into that one office at the same hours. So thinking about it and thinking about how that's going to dictate in your life. Another great thing with all these too is if you're in any of these towns that have septic systems and you have these houses, don't forget, you can still look at 2 bedrooms. You don't have to add a bedroom to your search in order to have an office. There's lots of little spaces that could be used as home offices. And don't just go by what the descriptions say. Go by the house, take a look at it, and see, would this work for me? Would this be the right office for myself? Is this going to do everything I needed to? Is it positioned in the home correctly? Am I looking back at the kids' pool area where I'm going to be sitting there tortured every day while I work? Or am I the type of person that loves and enjoys that and I get to see my family while I'm working? You got to think about you. You got to think about what works best for yourself. And that's going to find you more success when it comes to the overall buying of an office inside your home. The year 2022 has come with some great challenges and also some great changes. Be prepared to be uncomfortable, people. Being uncomfortable means you're growing. Being uncomfortable means things are going well. And honestly, the world is not slowing down anytime soon. So get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Reach out to us over here at Momentum Realty if you want to feel a little more comfortable that you have a professional in your corner helping you understand the complexities of buying a house in 2022 and trying to make that place not only a home, but also a work environment that's conducive to success. Thanks for listening. Make sure to subscribe to the podcast. Tell everyone you know about the podcast. It's free. It teaches you a ton about buying, selling, and owning homes. And also make sure to go by and check out our blog, all found under the name Homeownership. Thanks again and have a great week.